Hello, welcome to this Nick's Smart Talk. Today I am going to talk mostly regarding about being a boss. Do you want to be a boss? What is it like to be a boss? Why should somebody be a boss? How can you become not only just a boss, but a smart boss? And to do that, I've got my book. This book is really good. It's written by Myron Golden. He's on YouTube. He has a huge following on YouTube, does a lot of stuff with business, and then he also does a lot of stuff with Bible studying. The book is called Boss Moves, Myron Golden. And with this book, a little bit of ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, a little bit of Google. We're going to try to become smart bosses. I'm going to try to help with this video in becoming a smart boss. Seems like it is one of the best chances people in America have for success, improving their lives. Um, and so, um, what uh, what this entails and what this book kind of writes about is boss moves. What does boss moves mean? Boss, he has acronym for boss. It is business optimization success secrets. In his book, he has business optimization success secrets. So I'm going to share some of those with you. Of course, if you want to be a smart boss, you can, um, you know, I would prefer, I think it's a good idea to visualize a goal, think of specifics of your goal, time, is it achievable, is it realistic or relevant for your what you want to accomplish in life. Be smart, boss, I think is what I'm going to kind of try to explain. Um, Being a boss, I think this is a good word if you're an entrepreneur or if you're a business person or in real life if you're working for a big corporation or a small business. It's good to want to maybe be promoted to the boss or to a lot of people in America want to be your own boss, start your own business. One of the best things about having a business may be being your own boss, deciding what kind of schedule you want to keep. And there are some benefits to being your own boss and to being a boss. So, taking the first step. Um, First step is to get to specifics and understanding business strategies. Be your own boss. You got to understand business. Business, according to this book and in this book, is nothing more than solving other people's problems for a profit. Um, his book starts off with talking about different business models and scale, how to have scale in your business instead of maybe just providing one service. um, you can either hire people and provide the same service to a bunch of people at the same time, or instead of just providing one product, a custom product, you can, for instance, his consulting service. If he does consulting, he charges one price to one customer. However, since he wrote this book, it provides a lot of the information. He doesn't have to consult just one person. He can write a book, and it has a lot of the information and sell it to thousands of people. And this is what he kind of tries and starts off with is business models and scale, how to understand business and scale, different scales of business. Um, this is kind of a good idea because it's good to recognize opportunities, business opportunities when they're available. One way you can do this, I think, is with vertical integration, horizontal integration, franchises, and IPOs. He does he does mention a lot of information in this book. about ways to have different scale. This concept of different business models to have different scales, the same thing. Vertical integration is where businesses, they'll not only mine products, or they'll buy raw materials like wood, and then they will manufacture something, and then they will have a retail store and they'll sell their items in a store. This is vertical integration when a business has different operations, and from the retail store all the way to um, the raw materials, dealing with the raw materials. Horizontal integration is a good opportunity for some businesses who maybe have one service, very good service, um, and then they buy out um, another location, possibly because the employees are there, the location is so good, and they provide the same service. And this is horizontal integration. It's kind of like franchises. Franchises are kind of a way of horizontal integration, except franchise usually, instead of somebody buying somebody out, somebody um, purchases the brand or the concept and then opens up a store at a certain location. And franchises is one opportunity a lot of people look at. Horizontal vertical integration is good. And then IPO markets. I did recently a smart talk on Elon Musk and his IPO. He's the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. And he became rich because he did IPOs. He started a business. Maybe he did a little bit of vertical or horizontal integration with technology. He could have maybe bought up a few businesses, um, whether it was horizontal, vertical, not sure. And then he took his business to the stock market and sold his stock on the stock market and made became very wealthy. So those are the four, I think, business opportunities to consider, to understand the models, to help you maybe succeed, the specifics of each one, um, to succeed in the future, and to be more of your boss. If you're a boss, you maybe have an idea of what kind of business opportunity you're seeking. It could be the case Elon Musk started one of his businesses with the sole purpose of taking it public and making a lot of money. And there are people out there, um, business savvy people who are basically smart bosses. They maybe start a business for the sole purpose of generating a lot of buzz, a lot of talk, and then taking the stock public with a new technology, piggyback sort of on a new technology, and then make money off an IPO. So I thought it was worth mentioning. Finally, second step um, is optimization. First step in this book, business. Second step, optimization, business optimization, where it talks about leveraging your time and value. Um, Being rational, I think, is a good idea. Deciding what's relevant, realistic for the time you have, um, in order to optimize your time and value. This is what the book talks about. It talks about scale. In order to have a good business and to have business optimization, you have to have good scale. Economies of scale is mentioned. Is really important in a lot of business. It's if you start a business and if it is maybe one product, of course, write a book, or some product, you can sell one product to many people, um, and make money by selling, making $2 a sale. If you start a business in service, let's say maybe like a cleaning service, and you want to clean houses or shampoo carpets or um, do construction cleanup, you get a job for each service. Maybe you're getting paid by the hour. Um, Even though you're uh, a business, you can still, a lot of your money could be paid by a lot of your profits could be made by being working by the hour. And so maybe you need more employees and more to provide the service to have a profit, or maybe you need more products. And this is something to consider with economies of scale. Um, his example, um, to help you realize, maybe he is on, Myron Golden is on YouTube. I'm going to pull up his example. Maybe it will be the best to listen to him a little bit on time, valuing your time, and then you'll maybe want to have good economies of scale in whichever business you're in. Here is Myron Golden on YouTube. I'm just going to play. This is about 13 minutes. Play this little um, presentation on time is money is a very expensive lie.
Hey there, you're about to discover one of the most expensive lies you've ever heard in your life, and it's a lie that we've all heard and one that we've probably all told, but we didn't know that it was a lie. And that lie is this: time is money. We've all said it, we've all heard it. Time is money, time is money. You gotta hurry up, time is money, time is money, time is money. I submit to you that time is not money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. If you believe that time is money, it's going to cause you to make a bunch of mistakes. First mistake, believing time is money is going to cost you, is going to cause you to waste a whole lot of time trying to save a little bit of money. And so we've all seen the people who drive, 15 miles out of the way to save 3 cents on a gallon of gas, right? Or we will spend, and I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's just not true, right? So what people will do is they'll spend 3 hours cutting out coupons.
I guess it started with me being laid off from my previous company, and
so I just read
to save some money on whatever they're saving money on it, and that there's nothing wrong with that. But if they had used that same 3 hours, they very likely, to do something to create some value for somebody, they very likely could have made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9, or 10 times more than the amount of money they saved on coupons. So what happens is, when we believe that time is money, then we begin to value money more than we value time. How can we tell if we value money more than we value time? Well, if you are like the average person in the US of A, you probably sell a whole bunch of your time for a little bit of somebody else's money. And that is the greatest expense of the time is money lie. Here's what the scripture says. I'm going to read it to you. It's in Ephesians chapter 5, verse number 15. See that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Now, it says, wherefore walk ye circumspectly. Now, that circumspectly is not a word that I use in my everyday language, right? And so what happens is, when we're reading the Bible, when we come across a word and we don't really know what it means, I think the best thing for us to do, instead of being in a hurry to get through that passage, we should stop and look up the word. And so that word circumspectly, it just means wisely. So it's saying, see that you walk circumspectly, not as, and as wise. So walk wisely as a wise person and not as a fool. How? How do I walk wisely as somebody who's wise and not a fool? I do that by redeeming the time. Now, this is the fun part. What does the word redeem mean? The word redeem in this passage, if you go look it up in the Greek, here's what it means. It means to buy back or to buy up. So I'm supposed to buy back my time or buy up my time. That's the first definition. You know how dictionaries give you multiple definitions, right? So the next definition is to rescue it from loss. So I'm supposed to buy back my time, buy up my time, rescue my time from loss. And the third definition is improve opportunity. That's interesting. I've been going to church my whole life. I never heard anybody teach on buy back your time, rescue it from loss, and improve your opportunity. But that's exactly what that verse means when it says redeeming the time because the days are evil. It says, don't be a fool, be a wise person, and then walk. Carry yourself as a wise person by buying back your time, rescuing it from loss, and improving your opportunity. Why? Because the days are evil. That is not talking about like evil, like we're in the last days and they're evil, but even though we're in the last days and they're evil. It's not talking about evil like the devil is evil. It's not talking about evil like wickedness and sin and unrighteousness is evil. It's talking about like evil. The word evil in that verse, go look it up for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. It means difficult in nature. So in other words, it's hard. Life is hard. So the scripture's telling me to buy back, walk like a wise person, not like a fool. Buying back my time, rescuing it from loss, and improving my opportunity. That sounds very different than how most people live their lives. See, because we learn the lie that time is money, here's what we do. We value money more than we value time. We put too high of a value on money. And so what we do, and we don't put a high enough value on time because we don't understand the relationship between time and money, and we think time is money, so if time is money, then they're equal, right? But they're not equal. Because I submit to you that if somebody said to you, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $400 million today. How many of y'all want that deal, right? I'll take that deal, except for there's one caveat. You have to end your life. Now who wants that deal? Nobody wants it. So you already know that your life is worth more than $400 million. But you don't treat it like it's worth more than $400 million because you waste a lot of time trying to save a little bit of money when you should be using that time to buy back that time, when you should be using your money to buy back your time. Instead, you're using time to buy back money. We're doing the exact opposite of what the scripture says and wondering why our life isn't working. So, like, I know for me, I understand the value of time, at least to some degree, because time is the stuff that life is made of, and when it's over, it's a wrap. This is not, like, we are not in a Mario Brothers console. We don't get another life. So we have to act like we're expiring. We have to act like we're evaporating. We have to act like we're eventually going to go away, and we have to, like, live life with a sense of urgency. And so when we understand that this is not the truth, time is money, that's not the truth, and this is more, I'm going to do it in a different color just because it'll make it easier to separate. This is more true. Time is greater than money. When you, like, if you like start to buy into this belief that time is greater than money, here's what's going to happen. You're going to start doing things to redeem your time. What's redeem mean again? Buy back, rescue from loss, improve your opportunity. So, see, we think we're being frugal, and we are with money, but we're being wasteful with time. Like we're being frugal with money, and then we're being prodigal with time. We're being frugal with money, and then we're just throwing our time away. It doesn't make any sense. So you buy back your time by leveraging your money. What does that mean? It means pick something in your life that takes a lot of time. Maybe it's cutting your grass. Maybe it's fixing your car. Maybe it's washing your car. Maybe it's cleaning your house. Maybe it's preparing your food. Pick one thing in your life that takes you a lot of time, and then pay somebody else to do that thing. Pay somebody to cut your grass, or to clean your pool, or to clean your house, or to cook your food. Pay somebody else to do that, and then take the time that you used to do that, and use it to learn a new skill.
I'm a pastor, and years ago I felt like God said, go after finances the way you went after healing, which we were going after healing.
That's how you buy back your time. Like, there are so many things that I didn't know. Like, when I was broke, I didn't realize it was my lack of skills that was costing me a fortune. So I remember when I was poor, I thought me being poor had something to do with me being a victim of circumstance. Had nothing to do with it. I was poor because I didn't have the skills to create wealth. How many of y'all tracking? And by the way, just like you, and don't think, oh, but that's so hard. It's not harder than learning how to walk. You got that one down. Not harder than learning how to ride a bicycle. You got that one down. Not harder than learn how to use a computer or a phone or drive a car. You got that down. And so what happens is we buy into all these truisms that aren't true. They're basically sophisticated lies, and we wonder why our life isn't working in that area. Time is not money. Start placing more value. You start valuing time. Start valuing time more than you value money. And what you'll do, eventually you'll get to the place where you'll spend as much money as necessary to buy back the rest of your life. See, here's the real equation. Time is infinitely greater than money. That's the real equation. Time is infinitely greater than money. And when we begin to value time infinitely more than we value money, we will start having more money and more time. But if you keep valuing money more than you value time, what's going to happen is you're going to keep having less time and less money. How many of y'all tracking? And so don't buy the lie, it costs too much. I know, I get it, you're good at fixing your car. I'm good at fixing cars too, but I'm not going to do it. I get it. You think cutting the grass is therapeutic. I get that. You know why? You know what's really therapeutic, especially here in Florida? Sitting in your house drinking a tall glass of ice water watching somebody else cut your grass. Now that's really therapeutic. See, when you begin to value your time becomes more valuable. See, here's the problem. We want other people to value our time, and we don't even value it. Can I get a witness? Right? And so what we have to do is we have to start looking at this equation the right way, understand that because my life is expiring, I've got to act and live with a sense of urgency. It's interesting to me when I'm driving here in Florida, especially, more than any other place I think maybe I've ever driven, how people drive like they think they're going to live to be 900. And they do it across all lanes because they think you're also going to live to be 900. And it's maddening. People just dote about through life like it doesn't matter that they're going to die. So many people quantify the quality of their life by how many years of experience they have doing a thing. Well, I've got 40 years of experience driving this forklift. I got bad news for you, Bubba. You don't have 40 years of experience driving a forklift because it don't take that long to learn how to drive one. You got about 2 weeks of experience repeated over a 40-year time period. That's not the same thing. And I submit to you that the quality of your life should not be measured by the number of years of experience you have doing a thing, but the quality of your life is truly measured by the number of experiences you put in those years. And especially putting more experiences in those years with the people that you love the most and for the causes that you care about the most. But most of us can't because we are a slave to money because we value money more than we value time. There are a lot of business owners whose businesses can't thrive because they want to take advantage of the people who work for them because they value the money more than they value the time. And so they want good people, but they're unwilling to pay what good people are willing to work for. Well, and then, I personally, I really believe fast pay makes fast friends. I hated it when I worked for people and I felt like after working all week like a three-legged mule in a hailstorm that I had to go beg for my check. Hated that. So let's start doing this. Let's start realizing that our lives are going to count for far more when we live like this instead of like this. It'll change your life for the rest of your life. Time is not money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. And when you start treating it like that, you'll end up with more time and more money. I hope this helps you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, so time is more valuable than money, and very much more valuable than money. It's hard to put a price tag on time, and so it's good not to, for the most part, and to optimize your business. Economies of scales can help you optimize your business. Another um, Another concept is for optimizing your business is factors of production. There are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a new one. It used to be, if you read maybe Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, he said land, labor, and capital are the factors of production. And recently, um, at some point in this last 30 years, they've added entrepreneurship because it's so important. And what's important is distinguishing between labor and entrepreneurship. Labor is working by the hour. Um, this is like just working, doing what you're told, being a good employee is labor, where entrepreneurship is more of being your own boss, uh, maybe profiting on one of your ideas, starting a business, running a business, um, optimizing a business. Entrepreneurships basically are in charge of business, optimize business. So, with with the fact that even here recently, entrepreneurs have been given more of credit. Um, One thing with this concept you could think of, it's very difficult. There's lots of opportunities out there, but uh, Myron Golden brought up some sort of verse in the Bible. I kind of look uh, one helpful way to look at optimizing a business is to think of two options, both good options. One is as a carpenter. There's lots of examples in the Bible about being a carpenter. The other one is being a shepherd. And if you think about being a carpenter, you work on wood, you work on one product at a time for one customer at a time. It can probably be kind of a grind to be a carpenter. You get paid either by the hour or by the product, and there's not much scale to being a carpenter for the most part. And so this is kind of one option in business. Um, it's more difficult to optimize your business and make your business more valuable when you're more of a carpenter. However, a shepherd is different. Shepherd deals with lots of products, lots of sheep. It makes money off of basically, usually shepherds make money off of selling sheep, raising sheep. It's a one product is an animal. However, there's more scale to it. If a shepherd wants to make more money, they can raise a larger herd. The herd will just multiply and multiply, and eventually the herd is very valuable to the shepherd. This is more of, to me, an entrepreneur opportunity to be more like a shepherd than a carpenter. It also can help. Um, it can, to be your own boss, a smart boss, you're going to probably want to be some kind of entrepreneur. You may have to resort to some type of grind as a carpenter, but it's better maybe to come up with ideas to sell products. For instance, selling products is better services because selling products you can have a better scale. You can have a larger customer base, larger area, and so this is something to keep in mind to have an optimized business. One example that I could think of is Bill Gates. Bill Gates started off as more of a carpenter. He would program computers. He was really very much into the grind of computer programming. And then he saw his opportunity to be more of a shepherd, to be more of an entrepreneur, to sell licensed software, to create licensed software. And he thought it was going to be big. So he became more of an entrepreneur, more of a shepherd, sold instead of selling programming skills for hourly wage. He sold a licensed software product to several computers, was more entrepreneurial, and made of course, became one of the richest men in the world. And so this is something that can maybe helpful. Optimizing your business, thinking about how to optimize your business can be very important. Um, in this book, um, it mentions optimization. It can be accomplished through leverage. Um, Basically, once you discover your purpose, you can use leverage. Basically, when he talks here on leverage, he talks about scale, finding scale for your business optimization. Next step to becoming a smart boss is to get to the specifics of what's achievable by you. What can you achieve, not necessarily somebody else can achieve. And this can happen with persuasion. To be more of an entrepreneurial, this book mentions being persuasion is the way to go, not to try and convince people of one thing or the other, but use persuasion to help you succeed at business. It's more rational to be persuasive. And so, what I did was I looked up. There's not a whole lot in his book talks about persuasion, not a whole lot. Looked up ask GPT, ask these AIs describe persuasion. You can see here persuasion, effective persuasion often combines three key elements: logic, credibility, emotion. Persuasion is very, in many areas of life, everyday conversations, persuasion, teaching, coaching, negotiation, sales and marketing, leadership and management. Persuasion is something this book this Boss Moves recommends persuasion, not convincing, in your business with your business. Here on another page, it does mention, let's see if I can find it. Which ones? One of these, it said it's Aristotle's rhetoric. Something about Aristotle in ancient Greece divided persuasion into three primary modes of appeal: ethos, pathos, logos, which is kind of interesting. Seven principles of influence is also mentioned here in describing persuasion. Here it says instead of manipulation, be persuasive. When you persuade people, it's a win-win situation, which is kind of good to see uh, on here. Um, Ways to be influence, reciprocation, scarcity, authority, consistency, liking, social proof, unity. Well, so I looked up Aristotle's Art of Persuasion on Google. And yes, here it is. They've got ethos, pathos, logos. Um, and so when you're basically after watching and reading this book from Myron Golden, he says one of the best ways to the art of selling and not selling is to ask questions. Asking questions until you get to a yes or no. Now, does it matter if you get a yes or no? Not really, but this is how you get to a yes or no. You ask a lot of questions, listen, um, and persuasion. In persuasion, you can turn to credibility. Credibility, if you're an expert in an area, if your purpose, people can tell. Um, whether you're an expert or not, if you have a certain amount of experience. Oftentimes, pathos is regarding experience. People look at emotions and they can turn to experience. Have you experienced something? Then you know this is would be a good experience, bad experience, and the emotions is pathos. Finally, logos is logic, appeal to logic for something that's rational. People are looking for something rational. One thing I thought of as far as rational logos is continuous improvement. People are always wanting to improve. At the very least, with investments, people like to see, daily investments, saving money, uh, continuous improvement, and compounded interest. It just accumulates, and it's a good thing for most people. And so, if you appeal to logic of self improvement, continuous improvement, this is how to maybe persuade people uh, with business ideas, um, and help you. One 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 way through experience I've had um, is for selling is called get. It's called greet, which means greet the person, engage, ask questions, and then thank them. So you want to greet, engage, ask questions to a yes or no, and then thank them regardless. And this is kind of like a good acronym, get smart for sales. And that would just be to greet, engage, and thank. Surprisingly, a lot of businesses these days use the acronym GET for it and have customer service based on the acronym greet, engage, and thank. It's fairly easy, and and I remember, and it's a good way, just primarily with persuasion. It's a good way to ask questions. To remember, asking questions is a good idea with the art of persuasion and appealing to um, the three. What are those? What are these? The three primary modes of appeal: credibility, emotion, and logic. With persuasion, very is very good. Finally, the final step four, where you have covered business optimization, success, and now specifics to becoming successful, understanding business. Now it is number um, last number secrets, and secrets is secrets of measurements. You got to have some way to measure whether you are successful or not. What are the best measurements of secrets? Look, maybe I did a search. I'll see if it shows up. Arise, all those. I think it was Gemini used this, or was it? I had a good description of rise. Then I just think boss moves. No, one moment here. Eyes moves. Okay, here it does mention master four business growth areas: lead generation, lead conversion, customer ascension, customer retention, track qualified. So the four units of measurement. Um, that's mentioned in this book that can help you be more a smart boss is lead generation. How many sales do you have versus how many contacts? Is this a high number? This is for lead generation. Con- Theoretically, the more people you contact, the more chances are you can sell them um, whatever it is your business is selling. The more locations, business locations you have, the more exposure you have. Um, the chances are you can have more sales. Lead conversion is the next one. This is improvement of your sales over contacts over time. Obviously, you may start off in business, you have a low sales rate, you're not very good at sales. And then as you become better and more knowledgeable with the product you're selling, you have more experience dealing with people, you'll have a higher percentage of sales versus contacts. Next one, customer ascension. This is improvement of each sale. So maybe instead of just a normal sale of a product, you sell something extra, an add-on. Um, One way to improve your business and measure improvement is to look at customer ascension of higher sales, higher sales dollar value on each sale. Finally, the last one, customer retention. This is same. A lot of retail stores talk about same store sales on the stock market, and here it's the same customer sales. If you have instead of losing customers going somewhere else, you retain your customers, and they continually repurchase items when necessary. And those are the four um, secrets in this book on measurement. He uses these four secrets of measurement. To me, they're secrets of measurement. They're just in the book he calls them growth areas for business growth, important growth areas. And so in business, they use a lot of different ways to measure success, not necessarily profits. Um, Sometimes it's a matter of how many complaints they receive. This is maybe an important number. How many errors occur? How many thefts occur? There's all sorts of secrets of measurements businesses use. And so it's good maybe if you begin a business for yourself to have these to start off with, the ones in this book, and then add on or learn more as you go on. Summary, in conclusion, um, Myron Golden's talk was pretty good. Time is infinitely more valuable than money, and therefore your experience is important. Your purpose, if you feel like you have a purpose, it's important. It may be good to decide on a business based on what your purpose is, more so than how much money you can make. But understanding, obviously, priorities. One thing that he mentions in this book is three priorities. Priority one is leverage, which is having the scale. You want minimum input for maximum output. When you have leverage in your business, you can um, put in not so much a lot of effort. Minimum effort you'll receive maximum output for. And this is kind of like work hard, play harder. You want to work hard at your business, but you don't want to overdo it. It seems like to me, and and when you have more leverage, when you have a better scale, when you have more scale to your business, your products or services, then you can have a minimal effort and you can have more maximum output. Lifestyle is a priority, folks. This is where I kind of say play harder. If your lifestyle is important, is a priority. Maybe leverage, business leverage is most important. Second most priority is lifestyle. Play harder than you work. If you're out there uh, just if you're out there and you just really like to bowl, if you're a really good bowler, then chances are a business in construction may not be so great because you're going to end up working harder than you play. If you're maybe a tennis ball player and you're used to running around in playing tennis, maybe you're ready for more of an effort. Maybe you would be a better person in construction or in some sort of physical activity. So keep lifestyle in mind, work hard, play harder. His final priority is legacy, passing on wealth to the next generation. um, Me making this video, um, writing books. This is one way you can pass on your wealth, your knowledge to the next generation. This is a priority for Myron Golden. And so, summary conclusion, hopefully, maybe if your priorities are similar to Myron Golden and mine, then you'll enjoy this book. You may enjoy my book on Amazon.com, Behave and Succeed with the Bible. It can be, I think it is a very helpful book, maybe on leadership, on understanding the Bible, also. And then I guess I can mention these two products we talked about having scaled. One reason why I decided to apply to htltsubs.com is because these two products, Turk Builder Platinum, Turk Builder Max. The opportunity was there. These are products. Many people who view my page can now go to the website htltsubs.com, type hike more, get a discount. This is one of those win-win situations where um, these things are the future. These supplements are going to be the future. They're just I've used them and I've had uh, a lot of uh, a lot of improvement on my sports and activities with them. And so yeah, this is one opportunity I decided to add on for my channel to provide some sort of um, option to receive a discount on these products, which I think are going to be just um, more popular in the future. Any questions, comments, suggestions are welcome um, on this topic or this show. Otherwise, hopefully, maybe you'll either read this book, Boss Moves, my book, Become a Smart Boss, um, and enjoy, maybe optimize your life, have a better lifestyle, enjoy your life a lot more after you improve, make a few improvements in your business or life. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Enjoy the rest of the year.